Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back at it again with another video, and today I want to talk about something that has been on my mind lately, and I think is something that a lot of people could probably relate to. And it's gonna be what no one tells you about chasing your dreams. Like when you first, when you hear that phrase, chasing your dreams, or people typically tell you go ahead, chase your dreams, like, and it's a wonderful thing to achieve a dream or have a dream and work towards it and go for it. But there's also a downside to that. And it's not necessarily one of regret, but it is worth talking about. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay guys, I took notes because, prepared. If you don't take notes, then what are you doing? Like, I don't know. I take notes all the time. I was also a handwriter in law school, so I don't know. That didn't last, but I was a handwriter all throughout law school. Nobody asked for that. But anyway, so the title of this video, as you can see, is gonna be The Dark Side of Chasing Your Dreams That No One Tells You About. And so, like you guys may have figured out if you've seen some of my other videos, I'm a storyteller, and that's kind of the way that I depict certain things. So I'm gonna probably put in a couple story times for you guys to see what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little dragged because it's Sunday afternoon and I'm a little tired, but anyway, we're gonna do this. So, yeah, so the dark side of chasing your dreams. I personally, this is how I discovered I wanted to be an attorney. And that's not my only dream, but it is the most crucial one that I had in my life. So, I was, in 7th grade. Now, don't ask me why. I have no idea why this occurred, why my brain went this way. I don't know. But I was in 7th grade and I was taking this test, and we had like our first like big quiz where it was like a pop quiz, and we had to read this book and kind of just remember off the top of our head what, whatever questions that the teacher would ask or whatever. I was kind of scared about that because if we hadn't had a test like that, that I could remember, especially on a book that was like, considered like a big girl, big boy book. Okay, that sounds crazy, but you guys know what I mean. So I just got to 7th grade. I was sitting there. I did very well on the test or whatever. It was only 5 questions, but for some reason I was hyped, y'all. I was like, I did this. I need that. Like, I'm going to get that. When I say get that, I was like my law degree. Why did it go that way? I have no idea. But as soon as I think it was because back then, lay people, which are people that that don't practice in the profession of law or have like legal education or knowledge. I didn't have much to go on about what a lawyer was other than Law and Order. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm the first attorney in my family. I didn't really know much about what law school entailed at 12. I was just like, I'm good at memorizing things. And I'm good at processing information and remembering things. So I think I should be good at being a lawyer. I think that was what it was. And I don't know. It doesn't make, but whatever. Anyway, I remember sitting in that chair and I was like, all I have is 5 more years. And that is where the planning, tremendous planning started off for me in like chasing my dreams. I was like, I'm going head first. And I did. And I fell a couple times. But anyway, so yeah, so that's when I discovered I had a dream and began to chase it. 7th grade. Now, one of the downfalls, or like the hard reality phase that I will call it, is there are things that you're going to have to sacrifice when you decide to chase a dream like that. Like when you really go hard in the paint. And one of the things is loneliness. You may experience some kind of loneliness because not everybody is gonna be where you are. Like, and I don't mean like intelligence wise, but just driven to the point where you're not focusing on anything else. So I just remember, like, I wasn't the best socially anyway. Honestly, I don't know. Every time I say that to somebody, like one of my friends or something, they are like, no, you're not socially awkward or anything. But I thought I was. So anyway, I wasn't the best at that anyway, but I was so focused on like making it to the next step that I think it made me more susceptible to bullying. I was definitely, I guess what you would call a goody two-shoe. I was not playing, bro. I wasn't doing not a thing that was gonna get me in any type of trouble or any type of like that would steer me off my path. I was head forward, like that was it, face front. That's all I was thinking about. So I didn't have many friends. Obviously there were other things, you know, that went into play with that, but I do remember feeling a little lonely. Even when I got to college, I never really felt understood, and I think it was because, one part of it anyway, was just because I was in a path where I was always alone, and I was always kind of in my head because I had to create my own path, because there was no one really on my path with me at the time. So even when I got to other like-minded individuals, I couldn't be with them either, because like my head, I was already stuck in my own way, like in my own path, and what I was going to do and where I was going to go and how to get there. So that's like the first downside. And then secondly, what I will say is that, let me see what I put. Okay. All right. So I wrote down self-doubt. So I made it, you know, I did reach whatever dream or goal, I guess you can call it. I did get there, but there is such a, you know, especially when you're starting out as a college student or when you get to your career path, some days you're going to feel like you are not enough, or you may feel like it. Not everybody. There were some people that did not feel that at all. I know that. But for people that do, you may feel like you're not good enough to be where you worked so hard to be. Like, and that doesn't make any sense at all, because it's just, you don't fall into passing the bar exam. Like, it's just not, I truly don't think that there is a way to really do that. Or you don't fall into, like, you know, being a therapist, or it's just, there's hard work, so much hard work involved in that it's just, you know, obviously you have education, you have the education that's necessary, you have the degree that's necessary, you may even have job experience that's necessary, and you still may feel like you're not enough for your profession or your dream or your goal. Because, you know, if you think back to when you created the goal, it's like it was always so far ahead of you that you're always running towards it. So it's like when you get there, it's hard to stop running. It's hard to not, and I don't mean that when you get to your profession, that's it. Because that's definitely not, you know, all. There's a whole other world of, you know, when you actually make it to whatever your dream is. But there are times where you can definitely doubt yourself, even though you deserve to be there. You made it, you know, there, and by the grace of God, you know, going through hurdles does not mean that you're not supposed to be in, you know, wherever you are or whatever dream you achieve. Like, that doesn't mean that. But it's hard to, you know, grapple with that when you're dealing with self-doubt. Just because when you're running so long, like, it's when you get to a place, very difficult to sit with that. Yeah. Another downfall is financial sacrifice. I wrote this down because you guys, I was not working. I did try to work while I was in law school. It didn't work for me. I just hadn't, it was a lot on my plate, and I was taking like 5-6 classes at the time. It just wasn't working for me. I wasn't able to do that. So I had the help of my family, you know, my mom, thank God. But I also, like, the financial sacrifice that I had to make to get us, like, even like the study programs or paying for a bar exam application, anything, it was a lot, you guys. And then even in high school, I was dually enrolled before they started paying for our books. So it was like I was always financially strapped. I really just had, you know, my mom, and it, like, it's weird to just go and take from your parents or whatever. Not that, you know, she had any issue, but it's just like you yourself financially strapped, because these things, like to take the bar exam, to take any kind of like licensing test, it's actually expensive. The process is expensive. It's a lot, you guys. So like it may take years for you to actually reach any type of financial security. And then even when you reach that, like when I got my first job at a law firm, student loans came back. Like, they're like, oh, we want you to pay $400 or $500. Oh, and then you have your car note. Oh, and then you have your car insurance. Oh, and then you have your phone bill. Like, I think people, you know, I've come across a lot of people who think that attorneys are rich, or they look, you know, they'll think that people in certain professions are rich, and they'll look at what you have seemed to acquire and not take into account that, you know, if you get a bigger house, or you get a better car, or you get a better purse, these are bills. These are bigger bills, which puts you in the same situation damn near as anything else. So, you know, not that I'm not grateful, I'm just saying, like, so definitely it's a financial situation that you may be in, unless, you know, you have tremendous help. Yeah. So let me see. I only have a couple more things left. Comparison trap. Comparison trap and burnout. That's my last two. I went to law school. I was the only person in my family that went into the legal profession. So when I came right out of undergrad, right in there. I was tired as all get out. I'm telling you, I was so tired. Like, I cannot express. I just was exhausted when I got there. I remember the first day, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the hardest thing I'm gonna do, and I'm already tired. It's like, I didn't know about outlines. I didn't, like, my particular school, which I love my school, but the location that I had, they made it like law school outlines were plagiarism or like against the law or something. They made it like, you know, I didn't have, you know, any reference. I was just kind of thrown in, and I was trying to learn. I was trying to learn that and so many other things. Like, personally, I was behind, because when I say personally, I'm talking about like dating, relationships, like driving even. I was so behind because I was so focused on work, like getting through school or reaching my goal or my dream, that when I got in, like, my first relationship experience, it was a kick in the face. I had no idea. Like, I didn't date or nothing like that. Like, I had no idea. When I tell you I was so naive, that was all the more harder. So I think, I don't even know how I got. So yeah, you can, this had nothing to do with that, but you can start comparing yourself to other people, looking around and thinking, oh, they're so far ahead of me. But you never know, like, they might have an attorney, like their father may be an attorney. They may have, you know, somebody in their family who already has a freaking law firm or law practice, or they may have gotten access to law school outlines and you didn't know about them. I was just looking around thinking, like, because some people, they seem to really just flow through it. Like, they knew exactly what was going on. Mind you, I didn't realize there are outlines. Sometimes, like in law school, you can buy outlines that literally outline the whole class. I did not know that until I was sitting next to somebody. I happened to look at their paper, and I'm like, what? This was the end, y'all. I was at the end of my journey with law school when I freaking figured that out. Like, anyway, all I'm saying is, don't compare yourself to other people. You never know what's going on. Like, you just may not have the connection that you need. Like, you may not. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to talk about burnout, and then I'm going to quickly touch on, like, being behind in your personal life, just because I had got into that due to my ADHD. And anyway, so yeah, burnout. When I tell y'all, before I even got in law school, I was tired. And I'm sure many other people can relate, but I'm telling you, I was exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally. Then I got hit with a Mack truck, because law school is a different ball game. It is not a freaking game. The bar exam, the mini bar, all of it. It was just like hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. And when you're already tired, you know, shit, how are you gonna get through this? You get to your career, and then you're like, oh my, this is so much to learn. And then you figure out you have ADHD and social anxiety and all types of, like, it's just a lot to do when you're chasing your dream, and also trying to figure out yourself, and also trying to figure out other people. And also, like, it's a lot, you know, to be that dedicated to one thing. It can shortchange you. Not to the point of regret, just, you know, when you get older. I'm 28 now. I'm not at all the same person that I was when I was 24. I don't even know who that is. Like, but she wasn't ready. Like, she wasn't ready. And like, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is, like, your personal life. When you are I was in high school, going to class till 10 o'clock at night. Like, I didn't have the time to be like having a crush on nobody. Or if I had a crush, like I was like freaking pubescent in the brain, like in that way, because I was like in books, literally. And I don't mean that to say like, oh, I'm so smart. I just literally, that was what I was doing. That was what all my friends were doing. That's what, you know, that's what we were on. But like when you get thrown into like the dating scene, or you get thrown into corporate life, or you get thrown into these other things, and it's like, this is a lot for me, because I wasn't able to focus on me personally, like socially, because I was so focused on this career path. Now I'm in this, and there's all types of things coming up, like law firm politics, like dealing with you know, a partner that's a narcissist, and you don't know what the frick that is because you hadn't seen it before. Or it's just a lot. It's so much. I feel like personally I was behind. And you know, if you had looked on paper, it looked like I was ahead, because I was ahead academically, but everywhere else, no. And that was very daunting. And I don't know how everybody else's experience is, but learning that, navigating that, as well as trying to navigate the career, as well as trying to get, it took me for a ride. It was, I mean, my God, you couldn't pay me to go back. So, but anyway, I don't want to end this off on a bad note, because I don't want to make it like I regret my life. It's just that when you are goal-driven entrepreneurs, any profession, a therapist, a doctor, social workers, when you are trying to get there, sometimes it's tunnel vision. And then when you get out of the tunnel, life is gonna have it for that ass. And that's all I got to say about that. But yeah, so anyway, I don't really, like, I know these things. I am happy that, you know, I had a dream and I pursued it, and I'm still, you know, learning and still trying to get there and make it through. I am happy that I did that. Definitely wouldn't have chose any other path, because if I had, I wouldn't be me, you know. And I don't know if you're looking, you know, if you're watching this from, you know, your phone, your home, or whatever, think about that. If you hadn't gone through all of these struggles, even though it wasn't perfect, trying to reach your dream, or if you're still trying to reach for it, it's not gonna be easy. It's not. It may, you know, you may look back and go, dang, like, I wish that I had more experience here, or I wish that I could chill. I wish I didn't have so much anxiety. Like, you know, the anxiety that you get from school, or something high pressure like that, or a high pressure career, is like no other. I'm pulling your hair out, trichotillomania. You know, I digress, but it's real. But, you know, what my advice would be to someone is to try not to regret your life. Just, you know, move forward in a way, and try to instill in others and give others advice about what maybe decisions to make better, or, you know, like that. Just pass it down, pass it along, and yeah. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this video, you guys. I hope you like this video. I hope you love my channel. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel. And you know what it is. It's XOXO.